Most people search for wealth the same way they scroll social media. Fast, distracted, desperate for a shortcut. That alone disqualifies them. Money is not impressed by hunger. It is impressed by precision. The truth nobody wants to hear is this: getting rich is simple, but it is not easy. And simple does not mean emotional. This is where psychology betrays most people. The human brain wants reassurance before commitment. Money rewards commitment before reassurance. So people wait. They wait to feel ready. They wait to feel confident. They wait to feel certain. By the time they move, the advantage is gone. Wealth doesn't come from knowing many things. It comes from obeying a few principles relentlessly. The first principle is control. If you cannot control your attention, you will never control money. Your attention is constantly under attack. Notifications, trends, opinions, fears. A distracted mind cannot build leverage. Money grows where focus stays. Most people think they lack money. What they really lack is direction. They wake up and let the world decide their day. They respond instead of dictate. They react instead of design. Reaction creates survival. Design creates wealth. Machiavellian wealth is not about morality or motivation. It is about understanding how power actually moves. Power moves toward those who are calm under pressure, patient under temptation, and strategic under uncertainty. The poor are emotional. The wealthy are procedural. This is not an insult, it's an observation. Emotion feels human, procedure feels cold, but money is cold. Money does not reward effort evenly, it rewards placement. Two people can work equally hard. One becomes wealthy, one stays stuck. The difference is not discipline, it's leverage. Leverage is applied intelligence multiplied by time and systems. Most people trade hours. The wealthy trade decisions. Hours exhaust you, decisions scale. If your income depends on you showing up every day, you are not wealthy, you are rented. Real wealth begins when money can be made without your presence. That requires patience most people don't have. Human psychology craves quick feedback. Wealth often grows in silence. Nothing happens for months, sometimes years. Then everything happens at once. Most quit in the quiet phase. They interpret silence as failure. In reality, it's accumulation. Machiavellian thinking understands delay. Power is built quietly so it cannot be attacked early. If people see you coming, they prepare against you. If they don't, you arrive uncontested. This is why loud ambition is dangerous. It attracts resistance before strength. The smartest builders look average while they prepare. They learn when others talk. They observe when others perform. They build structure while others seek validation. Money loves people who don't need applause. The second principle is asymmetry. Getting rich is not about doing more. It's about doing what others avoid. Crowded paths are capped. Uncomfortable paths are wide open. Most people chase saturated opportunities because they feel safe. Safe means competitive. Competitive means limited upside. Wealth lives where uncertainty scares people away. This doesn't mean gambling. It means calculated discomfort. You don't need to be fearless. You need to be rational. Fear is emotional. Risk is mathematical. The wealthy separate the two. They don't ask, what if I fail? They ask, and what is the downside if I'm wrong, and can I survive it? Survivability creates courage. Most people avoid moves that temporarily lower their comfort, so they accept long-term struggle instead. That is backwards. Short-term discomfort is the price of long-term freedom, but freedom terrifies people who need structure given to them. Schools train obedience. Jobs reward compliance. Neither teaches wealth. Wealth requires self-governance. If no one is watching you, do you still execute? That question decides everything. Most people need external pressure, bosses, deadlines, fear of judgment. The wealthy build internal systems. They move even when no one cares. They work when results are invisible. They trust structure over mood. Mood is unreliable. Structure is loyal. This is why routines are boring but powerful. The brain resists repetition because repetition feels like stagnation. In reality, repetition is compounding. Every dollar you admire was built by something boring done consistently. There is no exciting path to serious money, only effective ones. The third principle is positioning. Money does not flow to effort, it flows to advantage. Advantage comes from being closer to the source, closer to customers, closer to information, closer to decision makers. Most people stay far away and complain about outcomes. They wait for permission instead of proximity. Proximity creates insight. Insight creates timing. Timing creates money. If you are late, you pay. If you are early, you are paid. Timing is not luck, it is awareness. Awareness requires silence. A noisy mind misses patterns. A quiet mind sees opportunity forming. This is why wealth often comes to people who seem detached. They are not detached. They are observant. They watch cycles instead of reacting to headlines. They understand that markets move in waves. People panic at the bottom and celebrate at the top. Wealth is built by doing the opposite, calmly. Emotion makes you buy high and sell low. Control makes you patient when others rush. Machiavellian wealth respects human weakness and exploits predictability. Most people are predictable. They fear loss more than they value gain. They follow crowds, they avoid responsibility. The wealthy position themselves on the other side of that behavior. They sell certainty to the uncertain. They sell convenience to the impatient. They sell confidence to the fearful. Money flows from emotion to structure, always. The fourth principle is identity. You cannot out-earn who you believe you are. If you see yourself as someone who tries, you will never become someone who expects. Expectation changes behavior. The wealthy don't hope deals work. They assume success and manage risk. Hope is passive. Expectation is active. Identity determines tolerance. What you tolerate stays. Low income, disrespect, distraction. If you tolerate chaos, money will not stay with you. Wealth requires a higher standard of self-respect. That doesn't mean arrogance, it means boundaries. Your time becomes expensive before your money does. If you answer everyone, you are accessible. Accessible people are replaceable. Scarcity increases value. This applies to products, time, and people. The wealthy are selective by design. They say no often. They disappoint people early. They protect energy ruthlessly. Energy is the fuel of execution. Burn it on drama and comparison, and there is nothing left to build. Comparison is a trap. It shifts focus outward. Money is built inward first. You must become comfortable being misunderstood. Most people seek validation before results. The wealthy accept isolation before dominance. This is the quiet cost no one talks about. Loneliness comes before leverage. But once leverage exists, connection returns on your terms. The fifth principle is inevitability. The richest people are not gamblers. They are architects. They build systems that make success boring and failure unlikely. They don't rely on one income stream. They design redundancy. Redundancy creates calm. Calm creates clarity. Clarity creates good decisions. Desperation leads to bad timing. Bad timing destroys wealth. If you need money urgently, you lose negotiating power. The goal is not money. The goal is not needing money. When you don't need it, it comes easier. This psychological reversal is critical. Need repels. Stability attracts. Most people chase money. Money chases those who don't chase, because chasing signals lack. Lack mindset produces short-term thinking. Short-term thinking creates fragile wealth. Fragile wealth disappears fast. Strong wealth grows quietly. This is where most people fail mentally. They want visible proof early. They want social confirmation. But wealth rewards those who can live without validation. When you stop trying to look rich, you start becoming rich. Image is expensive. Infrastructure is profitable. One drains cash, the other multiplies it. If someone copied your daily routine exactly, would they move closer to wealth or just feel busy? That question exposes everything. Busyness is socially rewarded. Effectiveness is privately profitable. Most people confuse motion with progress. Progress is measured in control, leverage, and optionality. Optionality is real wealth. When you can choose, you are free. And freedom is the real currency everyone is chasing, whether they admit it or not. Once you understand the principles, the danger shifts. Not from ignorance, but from self-deception. Most people don't fail because they don't know. They fail because they almost know. They collect ideas instead of committing to one path. They feel informed, so they feel productive. But nothing compounds. Information without execution is intellectual entertainment. Machiavellian wealth begins where comfort ends. At this level, the real enemy is inconsistency. Human psychology loves novelty. Novelty creates dopamine. Dopamine feels like progress, but novelty resets learning. Consistency deepens it. Money compounds only where behavior repeats. The wealthy do not chase the newest tactic. They refine a single engine until it dominates. One offer, one market, one system. Depth beats variety. Most people diversify too early because they're afraid to commit. Commitment exposes you to failure. Failure threatens identity, so they stay shallow and poor. You don't build wealth by trying many things. You build it by surviving long enough in one thing for compounding to activate. Time is the hidden weapon. Time punishes the impatient and rewards the stubborn. This is why discipline is misunderstood. Discipline is not force, it is removal. Removing distractions, removing options, removing emotional exits. When there is no escape, focus sharpens. The wealthy engineer inevitability by narrowing choices. Fewer decisions, fewer inputs, more depth. This is psychological warfare against your weaker self. Your weaker self wants comfort, praise, certainty. Your stronger self wants control, leverage, freedom. Only one can win. Money sides with the stronger self. At this stage, emotional detachment becomes mandatory. You must separate ego from outcome. Ego wants to be right. Wealth wants to be effective. If your ego leads, you will defend bad ideas too long. If structure leads, bad ideas die early. Killing bad ideas fast is a skill. Most people fall in love with their plans. The wealthy fall in love with results. Results don't care about your feelings. This is why markets feel cruel to the emotional and generous to the disciplined. Control your reaction, and you control your trajectory. Another hard truth, most people are not underpaid. They are underpositioned. Value is not rewarded equally everywhere. A great fisherman in an empty lake will starve. An average fisherman in a full lake will eat well. Wealth is choosing the right lake. Market selection matters more than effort. People avoid this truth because it removes excuses. If your market is bad, your effort won't save you. If your market is good, even mistakes are forgiven. The wealthy spend more time choosing where to play than how hard to play. This looks like hesitation to outsiders. In reality, it is patience. Once the game is chosen, they move with speed and brutality. Speed after clarity is deadly. Most people move fast in confusion. That only creates noise. Clarity first, speed second. At this level, money becomes psychological feedback. Every number tells a story. Revenue reflects value. Expenses reflect discipline. Profit reflects intelligence. The wealthy listen to numbers, not opinions. Opinions are cheap. Numbers are honest. If the numbers don't lie, neither does reality. Another shift happens here. You stop wanting to impress. You start wanting to own. Ownership beats attention. Attention is rented. Ownership compounds. Most people chase followers. Followers don't pay you. Control does. Equity, assets, systems. This is where wealth detaches from labor. Labor is finite. Ownership is exponential. If you stop working and income stops, you're not wealthy. You're compensated. Real wealth survives your absence. This is uncomfortable because it forces long-term thinking. Long-term thinking is lonely. You won't be celebrated early. You won't be understood. You won't be encouraged. But encouragement is not required. Execution is. This is the Machiavellian advantage. Operating without the need for approval. Approval weakens strategy. People who need to be liked make soft decisions. Soft decisions create hard lives. Hard decisions create soft lives later. This reversal defines wealth. At the highest level, money becomes boring. No adrenaline, no chaos, no drama. Just systems producing predictable outcomes. Predictability is power. When your income is predictable, fear disappears. When fear disappears, clarity increases. When clarity increases, dominance follows. Most people never experience this because they chase excitement. But excitement is volatility. Volatility is risk. The wealthy prefer slow, controlled growth over fast, unstable wins. They understand something crucial. You don't need to be first. You need to last. Lasting wins wars. This is why patience looks passive to the impatient. In reality, patience is active restraint. It is choosing not to act when action is unnecessary. Knowing when not to move is as valuable as knowing when to strike. Timing is everything, and timing is psychological. Crowds move on emotion, the wealthy move on probability. When others panic, probability increases. When others celebrate, probability decreases. This emotional asymmetry creates opportunity. If you can control yourself, you can exploit patterns. Most cannot. This is not about being heartless. It is about being clear. Clarity cuts through noise. Money follows clarity. In the end, wealth is not built by intensity. It is built by alignment. Your identity, your systems, your environment. When these align, effort drops and results increase. That's the quiet secret. Money doesn't obey hustle. It obeys structure, patience, and control. And once you embody those, you no longer chase wealth. You become where it accumulates.